I came across a picture that I wanted to show you all, but I have to start by saying trigger warning. I've seen this picture in the beginning of the case, but I actually forgot about it. These were the stuff the police were taking out of the house to return to the families. Maybe some more evidence. Pay attention to the shoes in the plastic bag. They should have covered it better, because this opens my mind to many theories. I can see at least one bloody shoe. I believe it could be Ethan's shoe. And if you look above, there's another shoe that looks a bit red too, on the right-hand side in the corner. But let me discuss a bit about this shoe that is right in front of us. That is not the design of the shoe. You can see it has red liquid. You'll understand what I mean. I can't afford to get demonetized. Pay attention to the shoe. Looks like it has a lot of red liquid. That makes me personally believe that the students, the victims, were not sleeping. Maybe Maddie was sleeping, because I believe number 9 put something in Maddie's mouth. And Maddie did look like she was intoxicated and tired. I believe Ethan was wearing the shoe when he was attacked. May he rest in peace. There's a lot of red liquid in the front and the back of the shoe. I don't know if the back is a design, which I doubt. This is definitely red liquid. You can see it's a white shoe that has red on it. So my question is, Ethan was wearing his shoes. Did they get attacked when they just entered home? The police said that everyone was home at 1:45, and that wasn't true. Ethan and Xana did not make it before at least 2:15, 2:20. According to Ethan's friend who sent him a text message, he said, I was at the Sigma Chi, and that was at 2:10. So what happened to them? The police have always had a hard time clarifying and finding the gaps that are missing in the couple's timeline. Pay attention to that. I'm a licensed mental health counselor. I'm not part of any forensic teams, so I wouldn't know much about evidence. If there's anyone who knows about the forensics, side, please let me know what y'all think about this shoe. I don't think this belongs to any of the girls because the shoe is too big. So did poor Ethan get attacked when he came home? Is my question. Why is the shoe all red? My second question is, why are they actually returning the shoes to the parents? Because they put it in the van. Why didn't they take it as evidence from the very beginning? Unless that's the design of the shoe, which I doubt. If the shoe was red and white, there wouldn't have been that kind of red color on it. Something happened. And whatever happened, I personally believe Ethan was wearing his shoe when it happened. May he rest in peace. Kaylee's father, Steve Gonsalves, had said that he heard that the access point was the sliding door or a window. I know we have discussed about the ladder plenty of times. And to be honest, I always believed that the ladder wasn't involved. But now, I'm starting to wonder if the ladder was used, because Dylan said she heard rummaging upstairs, according to Ashley Banfield. And she thought it was the Sigma Chi or Sigma Chi fraternity boys. Why would she think that? Why didn't she think it was another fraternity? What if Dylan heard them climbing up this ladder and trying to get into Xana's window if it was open? Why is the ladder there? I've seen when the police came for the noise complaint for Kaylee and Hunter, the ladder was lying on the ground, flat, and it was leaning towards the house. It wasn't standing like that. And what is the red thing up there? Could they have climbed up from the window and bled a bit? Something doesn't make sense with the ladder. I personally believe that this house was under surveillance by many different people. A picture of somebody inside the house was working with them. Just an example, it would have been much easier for them to have access. They wouldn't even need to climb up the roof or climb up windows. The person could have left the door open for them on purpose. Something happened to Xana and Ethan on the way home or as soon as they came home, because the bloody shoe explains a lot. That means the person didn't even get a chance to take off his shoes. He was attacked. It is heartbreaking. Why is Ethan's shoe all red And why wasn't these vehicles taken into evidence immediately? I personally don't think this case was done well from the very beginning. The FBI joined this case on the 17th of November, 2022, 5 days later. And this is a high-profile case. All those vehicles should have been taken into an evidence room. I heard it was parked somewhere that people had access to. Kaylee's vehicle was given back to her parents, but Ethan's was not. The last time I knew, the mother said, "We haven't got his golf set and 2 vehicles." So I think one is Ethan's and one could be his brother's or his sister. Was Ethan one of the main targets? Remember I told you that Ethan got Shawalter kicked out of the frat and Kaylee got him kicked out of the corner club. So that is clearly 2 motives on the 2nd and 3rd floor and 2 targets. But if Kaylee and Maddie were sleeping together, then one would have got up. And if the person is in rage and anger and doesn't want to be caught, and he's doing this in the dark, God forbid, then whoever is next to that person would have been attacked. So, example, if Ethan was the target, then Xana wouldn't have watched somebody hurting the love of her life. If Kaylee was the target, Maddie would have been injured too. Why were 2 roommates not hurt? Not even a slight injury. And why wasn't Murphy hurt? Was Murphy taken out of the house? Because he didn't have any red liquid on him. He did not have any DNA or forensics on him. And if he had forensic DNA on him, like hair or fiber of someone's clothing, it would have been difficult to know whose it was. Because Jack D walks him, Adam walks him, the girls walk him, the surviving roommates know Murphy. I've seen pictures of many people with Murphy. Whoever did these crimes loves Murphy. That's why Murphy wasn't hurt. It has to be someone who loves and adores. Could it be possible that it was one of Murphy's owners who was involved? Because if Katie was unalived, whoever did these horrific crimes did not want Murphy hurt. I find that to be important, that the surviving roommates and Murphy were spared, which is good. I wish they all were spared. Nobody deserved this tragedy. I can imagine the burden the family is going through. But what if the real suspect is out there, and suspects, which I believe they're out there? If Brian Kohlberger did this, I do not believe he did it alone. I personally believe Brian Kohlberger was driving around the area for other reasons. He could have been, honestly, he could have been going and buying something. Because if he was addicted on heroin, he could have been trying to buy something to calm his nerves. Don't forget what the Uber driver said to the local news. He said this was a party house. People used to come here to buy rugs. And I do kind of believe him, because I've seen Venmos, and I've showed you all the Venmos of BF. All are giving each other codes like COKE, etc. Was it a rug deal gone wrong? Lord knows. Was this about revenge, hate, anger, rage? Very possible. Could this be about jealousy, envy, crime of passion? Or could this have been a burglary gone wrong? That was one of the things that was said. And if it was a burglary gone wrong, what was in the house to rob? Was there something in the spare room? Why was Hunter always opening the door? He opened the door twice when the police came. How come there were other people around when Maddie and Katie were not around, and Xana? Because this was a party house. And I think that is the reason they demolished it. Because, believe me, there's over thousands of DNAs everywhere in the house. Why didn't they let the house remain so that the jury could walk in, check every room, try and make sense if you could stand in the second floor and hear the noise from the third floor? Who would dare to come to a house full of lights in the backyard? A house that has 6 people inside, possibly more, on a party day. A dog, neighbors. Pay attention to Kaylee's room. It didn't look like she packed it up completely. So I'm sure Kaylee was sleeping in her room, and she must have heard Maddie yelling or something. Because according to DM, Kaylee said, "There's somebody here. I think there's somebody here." Kaylee has a good vibes too. The picture. And the good vibes has lights. So Kaylee would have been able to at least see things in her room. And why would Kaylee and Murphy sleep in Maddie's tiny room? That doesn't make sense. It would have been easier for Maddie to sleep in the room with Kaylee and Murphy. Kaylee must have got up, heard something. She said, "There's someone here." She went to Maddie's room, and that's why Murphy wasn't hurt. That's what I believe. And I could be wrong. It shocks me that they didn't take the bin right from the beginning. The bin was always there. What if there was DNA on it? Even if the police ordered pizza, they still wouldn't have used the same bin, garbage bin, to throw it in. Because that could be evidence. Evidence was just given to the parents. Even Kaylee's mother said that they did not empty Kaylee's garbage. Why didn't they check all these things properly? Why wasn't the vehicles parked in a proper place that people couldn't get access to? So if Ethan was last seen at 2:10 at the Sigma Chi, my question is, did he walk home with Xana, or did they drive? Was someone waiting in the house for them? Why is his shoe so bloody? Trigger warning. His friend's mother told the FBI, and the timeline was still not changed. So the couple did not leave the Sigma Chi until 2:20, I guess. Somebody must have been waiting for them at home. And there was a fight at the Sigma Chi. So did the fight continue there? Was it outside the Sigma Chi? Was it inside? Why are all these people so quiet? The Sigma Chi fraternity made the FB, their Facebook, private. They let only people see from 2018 and downwards. They hid everything from 2018 and upwards. Why? What are they hiding? We saw the figures running to the Sigma Chi. I've showed you all from the very beginning the crowd yelling, Xana, Xana. You can check it in my channel. The first time I showed it was a year and a half ago. I showed you all the pictures Jovita was watching. I showed it first on my channel. I showed you all what Saeed was watching. And when we put all these pieces together, these are not things I made up. These are things I analyzed and saw all the behavior at the grub truck that they're carrying. They're carrying weapons. And still nobody's saying anything. I've shown the grub truck video so many times that I know you all are tired of it. And I've seen many channels, YouTube creators, have been just using all that discovery without fair use purpose. And that's not right. The crowd yelling Xana, Jovito's pictures, all those things, the Banfield pictures, Saeed's pictures, all of these things were first put in my channel. I'm saying this because it is really unfair. This is hard work, dedication, motivation that I've sacrificed all my time to it. If I take anything from anyone, I always give credit to their creator. This post is from Grizzly True Crime. She does lovely work. And she put this up first in her channel. This was on Facebook. What happened to this beautiful couple? What happened to Maddie? What happened to Kaylee. I believe the suspects are people they know. The suspects are the university friends. The suspects are from the frats, sororities, allegedly. I'm saying this to all the research I've done, to everything I found from the grub truck, Banfield, Corner Club. The girls and Jack Showalter were walking and saying, "You know we're going to get you for that, Maddie." And that was a threat. A threat was passed by John Jack Showalter. And within a couple of hours, the promise was kept. "We're going to get you for that, Maddie." He said that clearly. What was he going to get Maddie for? And that is when Kaylee said, "Maddie, what did you tell Adam?" She said, "I told Adam like everything." What is everything? I believe that these three gentlemen and Saeed have something to do with it. I've always said that. I don't think this was a normal alcohol stop. It was called in. Somebody called the police on them. Do they look intoxicated? Not to me. They look like they're up to no good. Look at their eyes. They all look like they've seen a ghost. Their clothes don't look right. Especially the one on the right with his hands crossed. The whole time he was very anxious. He kept on looking at the bushes. His clothes don't match. And he's hiding something in his hands because he keeps his hand locked all the time. There's only a time for a couple of seconds he lets his hand down, but he still has his fists tight. Where did they come from? I believe they had something to do with Ethan and Xana. They're the same age. I don't know which frats they're from, but they look like they came from that direction. These three, Saeed and the figures running, need to be investigated. Were they watching it on Snapchat, group chat, Geo Snapchat? Where were they watching it? A dark web? They all were taking out their phone device out the same time. They didn't look like they were scared of any undercover cops. They looked like they had to see what was going on. It's almost 3 at night. I don't think they're watching the Vandals or football match. They're up to no good. This young man is carrying. Look at his belt. The one before him is carrying too. How come the police haven't noticed such things? Even if they're not involved in the Idaho quadruples, they still are carrying weapons. And these are students.
If she was startled or even shocked, and the male says Ethan's name, isn't it logical to suggest that Ethan had been harmed or even was discovered deceased? Let's examine once more with an audio filter. Now we all heard it together. That male called Ethan's name. This was approximately around 2:21 a.m. Now we all heard it together. That male called Ethan's name. This was approximately around 2:21 a.m.
So this had to be when Ethan texted his friend and said he was at the Sigma Chi fraternity party, because that was around 2:10 to 2:15 a.m. And when the crowd is yelling, "Oh my God, Ethan," that is at 2:20 a.m. It's just like I've said from the beginning. Xana and Ethan were unalived first, around 2:20. That's why the crowd was yelling, "Xana, Xana," at the grub truck. And it was around 2:20. If you read the above, you can see this is hard to watch. Ethan texted my son at 2 a.m. and he's almost positive they were still at the Sigma Chi at that time. Based on what the text said, that wouldn't put them at the house until at least 2:10, 2:15. My son called the tip line and reported this days ago, but they're still saying that they think that Ethan and Xana were at the house at 1:45, which is wrong, and that is frustrating. I can understand the mother. So 2:20 is when Ethan and Xana was unalived. Finally, all the things that have been missing is coming together. I want to thank Grizzly True Crime for putting this up 2 years ago. And I've confirmed it on Facebook, even that post, the person who wrote it is still saying that Ethan texted her son at 2:20. It makes complete sense that the grub truck was around 2:15, 2:20. That's why the crowd in the grub truck were watching and hearing the things that were recorded at Linda Lane. It's heartbreaking. But the more I look at it, the more I know. And the more I believe personally that my theory could be going in the right direction. The Sigma Chi fraternity are involved with the couple's unaliving. Maddie and Kaylee have more to do with the people at the grub truck who were carrying. And they were warned by Showalter. He said, "You know we're going to get you for that, Maddie." What was he going to get them for? The fact that he got thrown out of the corner club by Kaylee is complaint, and the fact that he got thrown out of his frat allegedly by Ethan for harassing females. So these people had to be watching Ethan and Xana because Kaylee and Maddie left a couple minutes before this happened. Pay attention to how they all are looking at Maddie. May she rest in peace. Jovita was at the corner club. So was Aiden, number 8, number 9, Hoodie Guy, and many of them. I believe this all started from the corner club. Are they all texting each other? Pay attention to number 9. He gives the signal to number 8 right after he speaks to Maddie. Who's he going to put to sleep, I wonder? That is very strange. Right after that is when he goes to the corner and puts something in Maddie's mouth. In my opinion. Did number 9 put Maddie to sleep? We saw him giving the suggestion and the signal. He put something in Maddie's mouth. At the same time, he gave the ticket to the manager in the grub truck. What is Jovita watching? Could there be Xana on the floor? May she rest in peace. And Ethan. This is what they all are watching at the grub truck. Guys, what do you all see? Trigger warning, I see somebody on the floor. They all are smiling and laughing.
Thank you. Thank you. I got one chicken taco right here for you. And then go 194. No, that's too damn bad. Thank you. Love it. All right, that's fine again. No, there's no noodles. Okay.
Ethan, let's go.
Polar opposites, no between them. Thank you. Thank you. I got one chicken taco right here for you. And then go 194. No, that's polar opposites, no between them.
This is how it starts. And this is the original grub truck from J is for Justice. I've never heard them saying, let's round 1 or round 2. They just start coming as a crowd. And then they start yelling Xana's name. And they say, Ethan, let's go. And this is at 2:20. Just like the Linda Lane. And just like the text, Ethan texted his friend. So this is the original one. I've gone back to my clips and I've taken this back. I've taken this clip from a year and a half ago.
No, there's no noodles.
They say Ethan, Xana, Ethan, let's go. let's go. I never hear round 1 or round 2. But I guess people hear different things. But this is what I always discovered, and I've analyzed this video for over 2 years. The guy says clearly, people have fallen. But I've never heard round 1. Let me know what you'll think. And I'll put the link down to the original video for J is for Justice. It sounds exactly like this one. They're saying something about eating, let's go. May they rest in peace. Jovito, Saeed, Aiden, the girl with the long blonde hair, the crowd yelling Xana and Ethan's name, the boys at the grub truck, the figures running, are all involved, in my opinion. Let me know what you'll think. Please like, share, and subscribe. I personally have believed, and I still believe, Ethan and Xana were taken out first. May they rest in peace. And that was at 2:20 a.m. when this crowd is yelling Xana. You can go and check the timelines. I've gone back, compared all these timelines to the Banfield even. The Banfield boys, Saeed is watching these pictures the same time these people in the grub truck are watching their pictures and yelling out Ethan's name. Let me know what y'all think. But Ethan's bloody shoe broke my heart today. And let me know if y'all think that that is not red liquid. Jovita needs to answer. Have a lovely day.